Hello, and welcome to Afternoon Tea with Karen and Karen's Library. Professional protest organisers I've already done videos on. Paul and Green, Josh and Tareen.
Protesters have been given the green light for Australia Day despite an extension to the ban on mass demonstrations in the wake of the Bondi attack. Police have scaled back restrictions with Hyde Park set to become the rally point.
They vowed to return in even greater numbers.
We'll be back.
And now they legally can police today, giving the green light to a mass rally against Australia Day.
It's about getting the balance right between community safety and a right to protest.
The ban on protests put in place after the Bondi terror attack will continue for another 14 days, but certain areas are now exempt, including Hyde Park, allowing tens of thousands to march from the city to Victoria Park as they do each year.
Because a protest is authorised does not mean that hate speech, intolerance and threat to the community will be taken.
The decision comes after organisers threatened to rally whether police allowed them to or not.
The fact that police have now changed the protest areas to allow the 26th of January protest to go ahead proves that community pressure, legal advocacy and grassroots resistance work.
I've previously done a video on Paul because he was the protest organiser last year as well. Anyway, this one is the week prior to this video.
For quite some time, what we have seen is, whether it be Chris Mims or the politicians before them, they're trying to lock children up as young as 10 years old. And what that will do is, obviously make them have a dysfunctional adulthood. Which, I think if we can work together as, not just community, but also work together, as a collective to ensure that our people are not being thrown in custody under these disgusting laws that have been put in by a racist government, well, then I think that will be one step forward in relation to, stopping Aboriginal deaths in custody.
I asked David Harris, the Minister for Aboriginal Affairs in this state, what are you doing? Where is your advocacy? What are you doing? He said, Sue, things might have to get worse before they get better. It is disgraceful, folks. It is disgraceful. This government has no shame about how racist their laws are. But folks, right now, it's First Nations kids that are seriously bearing the brunt of the criminal justice system. The increase in First Nations young people who have been incarcerated over the last 18 months, the rate of increase has never, ever been seen at that height ever before, ever in Australia-wide in this whole history. And you know what? 60% of those kids right now, those First Nations kids, are behind bars and they have not been convicted of any offence. They are there on remand. This is how broken, how racist, how harmful and how disgraceful Chris Minns's laws are right now.
Now, I'm not a politician, but if I was, I'd say something like, the problem with deaths in custody and closing the gap is closing the gap started when Aboriginal people had Aboriginal parents according to births, deaths and marriages. And now all you have to do is tick a box. Can you see how the maths ain't mathin' anymore?
What I will advise, attendees today, for your own safety, if New South Wales Police do issue a move on direction, please do follow that and disperse appropriately. But for now, please join me while we try to march to the Domain, to disperse safely at the Domain, following all laws and traffic rules with crossing with the green man. So I'll walk up and we'll push the button and we'll try to cross over lawfully as we would civilians. If you receive a move on direction, please do obey and don't put your own safety at risk.
Can I just ask that everyone disperse in a peaceful and orderly manner? We need to abide by the order in place. Don't come here, don't come to my rally call. There'll be time for them to
Just
say yeah, but not with it. Not with it.
do what you want.
Righto! Hold on, guys! Listen to Paul! Hold on! Listen to Paul! Listen up, please! It's all right, listen! Righto! Thanks for attending today, guys! Thanks for coming out. I think it's the most safe option if we disperse. Yeah. I don't want anyone being attacked. I don't want anyone being brutalised. And unfortunately, these laws will allow that. Shame! And all of you pigs, shame! Fuck all of you! Shame! So if we can please disperse back towards wherever we're going to ensure the safety of our people. I do not want anyone ending up the next statistic in these guys' eyes. Everyone here, please disperse safely to ensure that we are safe. As you can see behind me, there is a large police presence. They're behind you over there as well. So please just disperse. Power to the people! We'll be back! We'll be back! We'll be back! We'll be back! We'll be back!
So that was pretty good organising from Paul, and that looks like a Nazi salute. And another reason it's just as well I'm not the government is I have a very different opinion from this. Cars pay rego and bicycles should pay rego considering there's bicycle lanes. But if you want to shut down the traffic for a march, you should have to pay a fee, say $300,000, $400,000, or have the park for free. Maybe I can get a quote from this guy. Anyway, someone else who's interested in protesting in Sydney is Josh.
Anti-Israel demonstrators gathered to draw attention to the plight of Palestinians. Palestine will be free! And demand an end to the state's new anti-protest laws.
That we reject these anti-protest laws and these attempts to take away our democratic rights in this state, the rights that we all have or did have to protest about any cause.
We see the complete overstep of the Minsk government as being something too far that needs to stop now, and we're really concerned that he's not stopped and he's going to keep going. I think these protest laws have a chilling effect on the community and the ability for them to come together.
There was a major police presence at Town Hall as attendees called on the Prime Minister to rescind an invitation for Israeli President Isaac Herzog to visit Australia. Recently banned by the United Kingdom, attendees denied the slogan encourages violence.
We actually haven't been chanting globalise the Intifada for the past 2 years, so that's a kind of furphy. Not that I think there's anything wrong with the word Intifada, it just means struggle. Nothing wrong with that word. From the river to the sea is just a call for freedom.
Now, I only recently did a video on Josh, and
take a look at this video. Listen.
So was Josh telling Furpies, or was that outside the 2-year window? Anyway, to Tareen in Melbourne, or Narram, if you can imagine it without all those colonising buildings there.
Police gearing up for hordes of Australia Day protesters.
We are going to show up in our thousands, as we do every year, and we want to show that we're here and we're going to continue to fight.
Anti-immigration and Invasion Day groups set to cross paths at Flinders Street.
I think people should consider what they're doing on Australia Day because it can be at a time of heightened community concern.
This year, for the first time, there are extra measures to protect our police from the protesters. General Duties officers to be equipped with 300 helmets.
It's a really sad state of affairs that our police are being issued helmets and that they need them.
Trialled by Victoria Police late last year, it's a move the Police Association has long been calling for after a string of head injuries at protests.
We know that we want to keep people safe in this moment, and particularly after the Bondi massacre.
Rallies may be here to stay, but new research shows attitudes to Australia Day are changing. 76% of surveyed Australians now support celebrating the day on January 26. That's even higher of young Australians, 83% in favour. Only 10% disagree with that date.
This is one of the highest results in terms of the support for Australia Day. What this shows is that patriotism has been reawakened.
I'd like Australia Day to be on Federation Day, the 1st of January, to celebrate the Federation of Australia, and the 26th of January to be the day the wheel arrived, just to see how they protest it. Especially him, send back those colonising wheels. And that'll do. See you later. Bye.